Extra, extra, read all about it. The true story of the Three Little Pigs by A. Wolf. That's right, folks. We are here today to read the true story of the Three Little Pigs, written by A. Wolf by John Seskia. Have you ever wondered what really happened in the story of the Three Little Pigs? Me too. And today, we're gonna find out. Hi, hello, and how are you? Hi, everybody, how do you do? Hi, hello, and how are you? Hi, everybody, how do you do? John Saskia does an amazing job rewriting fairy tales and folk tales. This is actually one of my favorite ones that he has written. So, here we go. The true story of the Three Little Pigs. And you know me, I'm going to do it in a different voice. True story of the Three Little Pigs by A. Wolf. So we know that this is going to be a story given to us by Alexander Wolf. But the real words in this book are told by John Seskia. Illustrated by Lane Smith. So Lane drew the cool pictures, and the story, the words, came from John Seskia. Everybody knows the story of the Three Little Pigs, or at least they think they do, but I'll let you in on a little secret. Nobody knows the real story because nobody has ever heard my side of the story. I'm the wolf, Alexander T. Wolf. You can call me Al. I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. Maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault wolves like to eat cute little animals like bunnies and sheep and pigs. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think you were big and bad too. But, as I was saying, the whole big bad wolf thing is all wrong. The real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. This is the real story. Way back and once upon a time, I was making a birthday cake for my dear old granny. I had a terrible sneezing cold, and I ran out of sugar. What kind of a cake is he making? Is he bunny ears and eggs? Ugh. So, I walked down the street to ask my neighbor for a cup of sugar. Now, this neighbor was a pig, and he wasn't too bright either. He had built his whole house out of straw. Can you believe it? I mean, who in their right mind would build a house out of straw? So, of course, the minute I knocked on the door, it fell right in. I didn't want to just walk into someone else's house, so I called, little pig, are you in? No answer. I was just about to go home without the cup of sugar from my dear old granny's birthday cake. That's when my nose started to itch. Oh, I felt a sneeze coming on. Well, I huffed and I snuffed and I sneezed a great sneeze. Achoo! There's the pig. Oh no. Oh no. Oh my, what happened? Oh, and you know what? The whole darn house fell down. And right in the middle of the pile of straw was the first little pig, dead as a doornail. He had been home the whole time. Well, it seemed a shame to leave a perfectly good dinner laying around there on the straw, so I ate him up. Think of it as a big cheeseburger just laying there. Sorry, I love this book. This book makes me laugh. I was feeling a little better, but I still didn't have that cup of sugar. So I went to the next neighbor's house. This neighbor was the first pig's little brother. He was a little smarter, but not much. He had built his house out of sticks. I rang the doorbell on the stick house. Nobody answered. I called, Mr. Pig, are you in? He yelled back, Go away, Wolf, you can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs of my chinny chin chin. I know he's home. I had just grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze coming on. Oh, I huffed and I snuffed and I tried to cover my mouth, but I sneezed a great sneeze. Achoo! Oh no. You're not gonna believe it, but the guy's house, it fell down just like his brother's. When the dust cleared, there was the second little pig, dead as a doornail. Wolf's honor. And look at how the wood from the house fell into place. It made a plate for the pig, a knife, a spoon, and 2 forks. Everything landed perfectly for a meal. I don't know. Now, you know food will spoil if you just leave it out in the open, so I did the only thing that there was to do. I had dinner again. Think of it as a second helping. I was getting awfully full, but my cold was feeling a little bit better, and I still didn't have that cup of sugar from my dear old granny's birthday cake. So I went to the next house. This guy was the first and second little pig's brother. He must have been the brains of the family because he had built his house out of bricks. I knocked on the brick house. No answer. I called, Mr. Pig, are you in? And do you know what that little rude porker answered? Get out of here, Wolf. Don't bother me again. This is kind of rude. He could have at least waited to hear what the wolf had to say. There's the wolf talking to him through the door. Talk about impolite. He probably had a whole sack full of sugar. And he wouldn't give me even one little cup for my dear sweet old granny's birthday cake. What? A pig. I was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday card instead of a cake when I felt my colds coming on again. I huffed and I snuffed and I sneezed once again. And then the third little pig yelled, And your old granny can sit on a pin. Achoo! Think anything's gonna happen to the brick house? Hey, it's still standing. Now, I'm usually a pretty calm fellow, but when somebody talks about my granny like that, I go a little crazy. Well, when the police drove up, of course, I was trying to break down this pig's door. And the whole time, I was huffing and puffing and sneezing and making a real scene. Uh-oh, the reporters are there. And this is the only part that they're seeing. The big bad wolf being bad, trying to get into the third little pig's house. Now, the rest, it's all history. See the newspaper? Big bad wolf. Wolf says, I'll huff and I'll puff. Here, you know what? I'll leave it on this page so you guys can see the the news story on the newspaper. The news reporters found out about the 2 pigs I had for dinner. They figured a sick guy is gonna borrow a cup of sugar. Didn't sound very exciting. So they jazzed up the whole story with all that, oh, huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down. And they made me into the big bad wolf. That's it. That's the real story. I was framed. There he is reading the newspaper, crumpling it up. But hey, maybe you could loan me a cup of sugar? What do you think? Look at him, he's old now. That's all he wanted, the poor wolf. He was just looking for a cup of sugar to make Granny a birthday cake. He's a good wolf. Or is he? I don't know. What do you believe? Is this the real story? Is Alexander Wolf Al telling us the real story? Or is the real story what the news reporters put out? That he said, I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down. The normal folktale that we know of the Big Bad Wolf. I don't know which one to believe, but I think that this version is really funny. And it gives us another view of what happened. So I really like this. And I don't know if anybody has seen the movie Hoodwinked, but it makes me think of Hoodwinked, which is a movie with 4 different points of views and what really happened in the story Little Red Riding Hood. It's funny. You get the wolf's interpretation, view of what happened. You get Little Red Riding Hood's view of what happened, Granny's view of what happened, and the lumberjack at the very end, if you know that version. But it's funny like this book. And I really like The True Story of the 3 Little Pigs by John Seskia because it kind of thinks out of the box. The idea that the whole time the wolf had a cold and sneeze and that was the huffing and puffing. It was just very funny to me. So I hope you guys got some laughs out of that too. And which story do you think is right? Which one do you think was the real story of the 3 Little Pigs? I don't know, but I like this one. One more thing I want you all to know. I miss you. I love you guys. We're going to get through this. This is so weird being at home. I miss all my friends, and I miss being able to hang out with you guys and play and do music and movement and see one another and be close to one another in the Discovery Center or wherever it is that you and I play together. I miss you all, but tomorrow, I hope, is another day, a better day for you than today was. I love you, a bushel and a peck, a bushel and a peck, and a hug around the neck, a hug around the neck, and a barrel and a heap, a barrel and a heap, and I'm talking in my sleep about you, 'cause I love you, a bushel and a peck, you bet your pretty neck I do. Get your horns out, ready? Do 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 do. Love you guys. See you again.